Okay, so this interface is actually the like if you want to say like a home page, or is it like a dashboard? So first of all, let's talk about what this tool is used for. So it's a powerful tool that is actually used for, it's like a web vulnerability scanner. I'm using the word scanner, although you will not use scanner most of the time. That's for this one. For the scanning part, you are going to use ZAP. Anyways, that's the way I do it. You may at a point, that's if you've known your stuff very well, you can always decide not to use. Anyhow, just that the scanner feature of this tool would ask you for money. Sorry, like you need like a professional version of it. Yeah, this one that is installed here is the community edition, and what majority of us will be using is community edition. You can look at the top. If you look at the top, you'll be able to tell. You can see now Burp community edition. So that's why I can't actually use the scanner for this. So just for everyone know that there are like two versions of it here. So now we already know that we already know what it's used for. Now it's just like for math for school, the way we have math sets. Inside math sets you have different set of tools there. You have a compass for drawing circle, divider for taking measurement, transferring measurements, pencil for drawing the lines. This one too is like it has like a comprehensive set of tools. There are different tools inside this tool. You get this is just like a set of tools embedded inside this one. So the different features that we're seeing here, all these things they are called tab. I'll still explain them later. Anyways, I'm just trying to like tell you what Burp is like fundamentally. So it's a user-friendly tool. We know that definitely is GUI. Most of all those CLI tools are not actually user-friendly, but GUI means graphical user interface. They are telling you what to do, how to do. No, not necessarily how to do it, but what to do, essentially. Yeah. So now let's talk about the different. These things they call them tabs. Now inside the tabs, there's something they call sub-tab. Is it tab? Yes. Forget about this one. So now let's talk about this tab. Let's start with Proxy. Very nice feature. Proxy, very nice feature. Like I said, you can call them tab. You see these guys that are now inside here. No, sorry, these guys that are here, this intercept, history and likes of them, they are called sub-tab. They are under this thing, under the tab. We have targets. Target tells you about the sitemap, the scope, and issue definition. Sitemap is like just like you have map of Nigeria. In your toilet, you can see the map of Nigeria. That's everything. Same applies with sitemap. Just with this particular interface, you can see essentially what a whole site looks like the whole structure. Sometimes if you press let's go to Chrome. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It shouldn't just be more of talking. Which websites can I use? Let's use LiveScore. Don't ask me why I'm using LiveScore. I'm just using LiveScore. So we are not going to view page source. We are going to inspect. I'm going to inspect. I don't know why I laugh in the manual. So now, okay, good. No need to even show all these things. I gave an assignment the other time. No need to show all these things. I gave an assignment the other time. I think which challenge is that? One challenge that they asked you to look for camera. I think Mani Balo or whatever it is. I can't really remember. They asked you to look for, you are probably hacking a CCTV feed or something like that under OSINT. Yeah. So if you actually did that thing, one of the ways of doing it is you are going to use the sites. You are going to inspect the website or view page source, which we've already done before. So that's actually what I'm talking about. So let's proceed. We're trying to beat time, cover lots, and at the same time beat time. So now Proxy, this is actually one very important feature that you will always use. You can't run away from it. If you run away from it, then you should just don't use this tool at all. What does it? I've explained what the concept of Proxy is. Now Proxy as a tool also means the same thing. You can intercept, you can inspect, you can modify whatever it is you want to do to traffic between the browser and the target web server. You can always do that. Like I explained before, it works like a man in the middle. So let's use the word man. Let's use the word person. Person in the middle. Yeah. So let's I think I've done this thing before that I showed us how it is used for basically. So now let's talk about the sub tab. We have this internet intercept is off. Then we have the open browser. So it's just like a browser that is configured inside this Burp. Now, if you want to use a separate browser, which somebody asked the other time, you can always use a separate browser. But then you have to configure the proxy. You can always check up online how to configure the proxy. But then to make it easier for you so that you don't have to set up anything, you don't have to disturb yourself or do one thing or the other, you can just easily use the browser that is embedded inside your Burp suite. So once it loads up, I think I've already done something like that before, but just for the sake of probably those that missed the previous class and are attending this class, I would just use it to modify a request. I'll use it to modify a request, and in the process of doing that, I will explain some other things. Okay, let me share my entire screen. Share screen. Okay, good. Good. Now, this is the browser. This is the browser. Let me restore the pages. Okay, I remember that they were searching for Boniface. So now, this time around, let's search for what do we say? Let's search for Uche. Let's search for Uche. No, let's search for Uchioma. Now, ordinarily, if we press enter, it's going to go like a normal browser. It will bring out the results on Uchioma. Let's press enter. So it's going to bring out results on Uchioma or wherever Uchioma is. Okay, you can see one Uchioma or Utsuebe. So there are different Uchiomas here. Now, let's this time around, we are going to go to our intercept and we'll go and we'll go to our Burp suite. Under proxy, under intercept, we are going to on the intercept. On the intercept. Intercept means okay, our man that is inside is active. Active to take requests, modify requests, manipulate requests, and likes of them. So you can see this. That time I was explaining something, I said I'm going to come back to explain it. This is it. The first is the method. It's the post. It's using post. No, the request. The post request. Remember that challenge that we did on I forgot the name of this challenge. We saw a lot of get requests, and for this one particular is like a post request. So the host is www.google.com. Let me see if you can still see what I'm explaining. Okay, good. www.google.com. That's the host. That's like the you know I'm talking about. Then the cookie which I explained before and the likes of them. So now that the intercept is on, it's ready to capture request. Now let's go to the browser. Sorry, who captured the request? Here. Let's manipulate it from here. This is not our request, right? So let's drop this one. This is not still our request. Let's drop this one. You keep dropping any request that is not your request because mostly maybe communication must have happened before you even came on board or whatever kind. Remember, I told you now there are different communication that can when I mean communication, request and response between you and the server. So we drop this one. Let's go to this Uchioma. Now now press enter. You see, it's going to keep loading eternally. It's not going to go because of what your proxy is active. Now, if you look at my screen very well, this guy is already showing red. What's trying to tell you is that there's like a notification, just like your phone. Now let's come back here. Now you can see on the screen, you can see what I have. You can see this request is a get, I already explained get, post, delete, different methods here. So you can see this is a query. Remember that thing I said, this is a query. So this is actually the request that is sent to the server. Actually, our proxy is holding it for now. So it has like query Uchioma. So let's say we want to manipulate this thing. We want to manipulate it. So we're going to change the Uchioma. Let's change the Uchioma to, which name should we use? To Modesta. We are changing the Uchioma to Modesta. Put a space there. Let's change this Uchioma also. Just want to change it, just random names here. What am I typing? Anyways, let me forward the request like this. I don't know. I already I'm saying something gibberish. Where's my browser? There is an error. If you notice, I disrupted the message. So I'm going to go back there and I disrupted it. I just did something I was not meant to do. So let's go back there. Let's change this time around. So we go back to we're going to drop all the requests that we have. So we drop this, we just drop everything here. So we'll go back to our browser. We type let's use like name of, let me say, president, since we know that those guys are, their name can show. So Tinubu. So Tinubu now, it's going to be locked. This guy already shows red. So we can go back here. We can manipulate this request. So change it. Tinubu, we change it to what? Buhari. So Buhari. So we change this Tinubu here again. So Buhari. Now we forward this request. Forward means, okay, you are now sending the message across. Forward the request. Now come to your browser. You see that it's going to go. Can you see? What did we put here? Tinubu. What are we seeing here? Buhari. You can see the way the stuff has been manipulated. So that is proxy coming handy for you. So let's move to the next feature. Scanner. We'll not really talk much about that because we are not going to be using this one for our scanning function or functionality. ZAP is what we're going to be using for scanning. So we can move to the next one, being Intruder. Intruder is actually now there's something they call I'll have to explain this thing using normal, like a practical example, a more practical example. Let me come here again. This is the response, right? This is the response we go from the web. So let's send it to Intruder. Control I is to send to Intruder. Send to Intruder. So now you go to your Intruder. From here, you can do so many things. Probably the next class, we are going to be doing that. We are going to be doing, like, what's it called? We are going to be doing brute force attack, where like we will see it live, the way we brute force a website. We are going to run it through list of passwords, the list of different usernames that we think that they make sense. My point is that Intruder can be used or is used for something like that. You can see from the interface here, choose an attack type. Positions, payload, resource pool settings. This is not the class I will start to explain all these things or what they do. I'll explain it. I'll explain them later to you. Even all these payload markers, to clear payload markers and the likes of that. I'm going to explain everything to you. That's okay. I've said later on, but now take for example, you are visiting a website that has a login page that has like a username. It has like an entry. If entry means like a place whereby, like if you are coding Python now, that thing they call that inputs where you want to make like an input statement. You know now input state is it? It's input, yes. That particular line of code that would ask you for something, that will ask the person that is using that program or website for something. What I mean is, you open a website now, you can see username, you can see password. Username is asking you for something. It's not asking you to just go to the next page like that. It's asking you to put your username. The password is asking you to put your password. So that place now, if you send such a request to the intruder, if you want to add payload marker, it's going to automatically go to those places, those inputs, those stuffs you get. Yeah, so let's move to the next feature. I didn't say this guy. Okay, I already said it here. It can be used for brute force attacks, even fusing, even parameters manipulation. You can use it for all those stuff. Yeah. So moving on to the next is this repeater. Now let's go back to this. Let's go back to. Okay, in a nutshell, repeater means request is what you are sending. Response is what you are getting from the server. It's that simple. That's the basic explanation for request and response. Let's do something. Let's do a simple thing. So we'll go to Proxy. Our intercept is on. Let's drop this request. Ensure that there is nothing there. Nothing there. Can stop your communication now. Okay, good. Now let's go to our browser. Let's go to our browser. Go to our browser. The way we type for Buhari now, we can press enter. So it's going to capture the request. We go back to our Burp. That's even every time I work with that's like keep going from one to one place. We go to your Burp, drop this request. This is not what we are looking for. You can see that this is the request that we are looking for. Get, search, Buhari, and whatever is there. We know the host and the likes of that. So now you can press Control R. If you are very used to it, you already know the commands. The way some of you know the commands for Microsoft Word, that's the way you know the command for Burp also. But there are similar and simple commands, like for repeater, Control R, for intruder, Control I, as you can see here. So send to repeater means you are going to transfer this information to repeater. You can see that repeater is showing like a yellow this thing. Sorry, it's 4:30. Let me be very sure you can all hear me. This you can. I would send a message to the group now. I just need like a thumbs up for it. I'll send. Are you following? Are you following? Just send like a thumbs up to that if you're following. Yeah, thank you. Oh, one person following. Wow. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Good. We have good number of following. It's quite technical, yeah. I know. So let's continue. We'll stop. Okay, good. So okay, yeah, good. Sorry, the way I'm looking at it is just confusing me. I'm looking at every like those are following and likes of that. So let's go back to where we were. So we're talking about repeater, right? So we want to see now. I'll say something like you're going to see the request and the response You see the request and the response, like live and direct. So let's send it. We already sent it to repeater now. Visit. So we go to repeater, click on repeater. You can see this is just a request. We don't have a response yet. It's just a request. We don't have a response yet. We don't have a response yet. Let's send it. Who are we sending to? We actually send the person is only listening now is the proxy server. It's not the server, it's not the actual server, the proxy server. So now let's send it to Google. Let Google give us the answer. So we send it. You will see it's going to give us like a response here. Mind you, let's give us a response first. Can you see the response? You can see the first thing, http/200 OK. Now you can see where methods, those methods are actually coming in handy. Those like 200 series I talked about. So now, mind you, you sending something to request, and that's repeater section doesn't concern what you are doing on your web browser. No, it doesn't concern what you are doing on your web browser. So it doesn't concern what you're doing on your web browser. So you can go back there. You can see. So for adventure, you want to like, if you this is the response from Google. This is the response from Google. So if you are looking for a particular keyword, let's look for the idea, Tochku, the idea is not for you to actually be seeing my screen word for word. The idea is for you to be with your own computer, be with your own Burp also. That's why actually give us enough time to load up our Kali and load up our Burp. So the idea is that as I am doing it, you just need to see, okay, this is what it's meant to look like. Then you do exactly the same thing. Do you get? That's actually the idea. That's how to follow up. Because if you are if you want to see as I'm doing it like word for word, letter for letter, I don't know if it's going to work that way. So I search for www, I can see a lot of results. You can search for whatever it is you want to see. Let's search for yes, I'm back. Sorry, network went bad. Network went bad. Okay. So I was trying to explain that this is the request, this is the response. That's basically when you load the page, that's whatever you're getting from the server is actually this. Okay. Let's move to the next feature. We have sequencer. Leave this collaborator for now. We have sequencer, we have decoder, we have comparer, and the likes. Now, I won't go into details what the sequencer is used for. Just know that it's actually sequencer is used for like to analyze randomness of tokens that is generated by a web application. So decoder, like just like you know now, to decode whatever. If it's written in, so let's pick something and decode it. Let's go to repeater. Let's check maybe something that is written in MT base before. My Burp, I don't know. What do you mean by it's different from your Burp? Like, how is my Burp different from your Burp? Just type it to that. Let me see what you're talking about. I want to search for a base 64 content, so I'll just decode it. Okay, let's just try to decode this one. But though I strongly doubt if this is a base 64 content computer section. The moment you are copying something, it's automatically decodes. See what I'm talking about? Look at the right hand side of the screen. It automatically helps you to decode. So decode from whatever method it is you want to use. You use the method. So it's going to give you your results there. Alternatively, if you want to go to the decoder feature itself, you are free. You can always go there. So you choose whatever stuff you want as you suspect. If it is base 64, you choose it. We already talked about cryptography, so you already know the different kinds of techniques that they use. When you see a base 64 a base 64 encrypted text, you should be able to tell. Now, if you are dealing with HTTPS, you know that you will not be seeing things plainly. You see stuff that are encrypted. Sometimes the cookies will be encrypted. Most of the time, they will not be encrypted with like very simple technology or simple encryption technology. So that's that on that. Moving on to the next feature, talk about the comparer. I won't delve into what we're not going to be using majorly. Then talk about extender, then target, and the likes of that. So we'll not really delve much into that. I'm going to open my Zap now to show you that's OWASP ZAP to show you how to make use of it or how to use it. But that was just like a very quick rundown of how to use it. So after the class, I'm going to attend to questions. In case you have any questions, you can just like note them down. So I'll attend to it shortly after the class. So not after the class, like during the class, before the end of the class. Okay, so oh my goodness. Actually give this in time to load. I'm still doing like this. So for this app, we just like run through like it will not be as extensive as we did for Bob. Just be like quick rundown of what it is used for. So let's close this one. Now look at let me know. sharing the right thing. Unable to use port 8080. Try 8081. Let me close this guy, because this guy is actually using that. So I'll close. I'm trying to close my Burp. It's interfering. Yes. Okay. Okay, now good. So this, when you have your Zap, trust me, it is not like a tool you can always use. You can always use. You can always use it. It's not like it's difficult or something. The interface is quite friendly. It's user friendly, so you can always like use it for whatever it is you want to use it for. So I just want to like basically explain one key thing, that even if you don't want to know anything in this Zap, at least you must know this one, which is you come here. That's just so you want to like spider, like scan basically what I was trying to explain with Burp, that I said the community edition is not going to give you the permission to do that. Is this Zap I actually used to bypass that problem. So what do I do? Quickly come here. Let's just like scan one random site. I think we did something. So let's scan test PHP. So we come here, test PHP. So we have this site, so we can just copy it and we come here, we paste the site, paste the site here, then we attack it. So now it's just going to do like, it's not like a very voluminous website or something. It's not big, but look at the stuff we just did. Just test PHP oneware.com/login. Okay, good. Network is back. It's going to scan. It's going to scan this hostname. So to scan the hostname, and then keep adding different kind of extensions. Just keep adding different kind of extensions there. Yeah. Now you can see from that stuff, from that method I'm talking about, you can see the response code. This 404, you already know what it means. Then 200, you already know what it means. By now, you already know what it means. The RTT should be the response time, something like that. I can't remember the name, but I think it's response time something. Yeah. So basically, this guy gives you an insight as to what you are doing. There are two types of scanning. There's two types of testing, automated and manual. So the idea is that it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to just do automated. Lost on Zap. Sorry. You have to. I don't know. It has not said anything much. It's just simple. The interface. Like, I didn't really say anything much. I didn't explain all these things, all these stuff. They're just things that you can really understand yourself. What I'm trying to say about Zap is basically there are two types of scanning. So you have a website. Let's say a company gives you a website to work with. Now, the first thing to do, like I said, two types, right? Now, one is automatic or automated, whatever name you want to call it. Then the second one is manual. Now, it doesn't make sense to do automated without manual. In fact, it is silly. Now, it makes sense. No, Zap is not pre-historical. It makes sense to do manual, but when you completely ignore automatic, it's just like stressful. So in a nutshell, it's actually ideal to do two of them together. Right. So this is just like a report of the website. So from here now you can see that insights have already been provided. Insights on the vulnerabilities or the security details of the website have been provided for you. So you can, if you want to get the reports, say you want to use the reports to now work. Some people, this is how they do it. Some people could be me, I don't know. They first perform like automatic scan to know what they are dealing with. So after performing that automatic scan, they will now, like, I'm talking about when you want to like perform like an extensive penetration test for a company, or say you are doing bug bounty or whatever it is you are doing. So you, yes, now you can use another website, but the problem about it is it is not legally right. It's not legal. It's not legal to scan to scan a website without their permission. It's not legal. You know, sometimes when you watch all these YouTube tutorials, they will emphasize on what that in the malice say. They say this thing is not, like, they are not asking you to go and hack code that forgetting the word in money use. They will be like, I've forgotten the word. In a nutshell, what they're trying to say is that they're not asking you to go and, exactly, thank you, for educational purpose. Yeah, they say it's for educational purpose, all this stuff. Now, same, much emphasis is actually meant to be laid on, on the ethical aspect of all these things. Like now, just like explaining how to scan website, I used an example that I can always scan any day, anytime, for example. But you, if you don't know it, you're not gonna use that example. You're not gonna use another. Say you go and scan access bank listing. You can actually be punishable. Like, you're actually punishable by law for just that mere action. Okay. So that, I'm just trying to answer the question somebody asked. So let's proceed. Where are we? So yeah, from here you can always generate your reports. Where's that report session? Your reports. You can generate your reports. You can, a whole lot of this. You can play around with this. Yes, ZAP is not pre-installed in Kali, so you can install it in your Kali or in your Windows, wherever environment you want to install it. It's fine. You install it. For me, I have it on my Windows. Yes, I have it on my Windows. And now the person asking a question about Burp, I didn't just answer it at the very beginning, because my divine, it's not, let me use the word, it's not play. It's not play. Oh. You may think it's like play until when I don't want to talk. But please just avoid it. Please avoid it. Always work with what, let me say there's an assignment now. I should give you like a sample site that you should work with. Okay. Don't just go and say you want to practice your security skills just any. So that's about ZAP. So that's about ZAP. So just we'll wrap it up here. I'll just attend to any question now. So I'm going to stop the recording for now.